All right, I'm playing a solo version of Fantastic Factories, and this is against what's called the Machine, this is the Machine's area right over here. And I'm close to the end of the game, and it's getting down to the wire. It's actually a pretty tight finish, so I decided that I wanted to record this and kind of give you guys a little bit of the flavor of what it's like to play Fantastic Factories versus the Machine, as I try to, give you a little bit of a pan here and show you the table setup. But let me focus on the Machine right now. Let me tell you what the deal is. The Machine is a streamlined version, never holds any cards in hand, and only does actions based on rolling these dice over here. And so right now, the Machine will score a victory point for each one of the goods it has in its tableau and each one of the cards it managed to build, quote unquote, regardless of the prestige points printed on the card. So let's take a look at how many points the Machine has right this second. In terms of goods, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's built 6 goods, and then it's managed to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 buildings in its tableau for a total of 16 victory points so far. Now let's switch attention to me over here. So this is my tableau and what I've been able to build. If I can just get my stand to show you what I've got going on here. So in terms of goods, I've been able to build 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 10 goods. And then in terms of buildings, I've been able to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, but only 7 of which have prestige points. So I score by prestige points. So I actually have 17 points right now, whereas the Machine has 16 points. So it's kind of, like I said, down to the wire. And now it's my turn, and I currently hold a slim 1 victory point lead over the Machine. So now I'm going to play what's probably going to be my penultimate turn. So let me move my camera over here like so. And you know what? I'm just going to hold my camera. All right, this is probably going to be easier. So let's play our penultimate turn. So first, I'm going to play what's called the market phase, which in the market phase, you've got 2 options. Either you gain a blueprint card for free or hire a contractor by discarding a card with the correct tool. So those are the contractors right over there. But as you'll see here, I have nothing in hand. I've been holding very few cards in hand, and I've been focusing on building them. So I probably, I can't do the option of discarding a card with a tool to be able to pick up a contractor. So I'm probably going to, at this point, gain a blueprint. So I'm going to go ahead and gain a blueprint. Oh, I do that from one of the 4 that's currently displayed here. I could either go for the battery factory or the recycling plant or the dojo or the foundry. Now, I cannot build duplicates of what I've already built. So as you see here, I've already built 1 battery factory, so this one's going to be useless to me. I can't pick that up. Recycling plant. Dojo allows you to flip an unplaced die to its opposite side, but that's not going to earn me any victory points, and I'm looking for VPs right now. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll take this foundry. So I'm taking the foundry into my hand, and that's my action for what's called the market phase. And now we go into the work phase. And the work phase involves rolling your dice. So by default, I have 4 dice. I actually do have a card that could allow me to get another die if I gave in a metal. But right now, I have no metal. I've only got 3 energy and no metal, so I can't do anything to earn an extra die this turn. So I'm going to go ahead and roll my dice. What have I got? I've got double 1s, which is good for me. I've got a 6 and I've got a 2. All right, let's take a look at what we can do with these double 1s. Let me move this out of the way here. we could take these double ones and put them in the harvester. So these double ones would get us either 4 metal or 7 energy, which is good because if I have a surplus of energy, I can use the battery factory to convert 4 units of energy into a good. And I've got this replicator, which if I turn in an energy, it can become a duplicate of any other card that I have that I've got built in my tableau here. So that's definitely an option, is I'll use my doubles to be able to convert into 7 energy. And then with my 7 energy, I could do interesting things. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to place my doubles over here, and I'm going to choose to get 7 energy. So let's grab some 7 energy over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, great. So now I've got a total of 7 plus 3, 10 energy. And what I can do right now is I can turn in 4 of that energy to become a good. I can do that right this second. So that's something that we're going to keep in our back pocket right now. We can't build anything. Let me just move my card out of the way, my camera out of the way here, because we've only got the 1 card. And so to be able to build a building, you need to discard another card with this same icon and then give up its energy and metal requirements. So to build this foundry, I would have to give up 1 energy, 2 metal, and also give up another card with this same icon over here to be able to build it and then get 1 prestige point or victory point for building it. But since I've only got the 1 card, I don't have any other options for building it. Let's take a look at our other dice here. We've got a 2 and a 6. So what can we do with this 2 and this 6? Can't really do anything interesting in terms of the buildings that we've built. What we can do is this 6 could be placed here in the mine, and that could net us 1 metal. So we can do that. We've done that. We've got 1 metal in addition to the 10 energy that we have here built up. And with that 1 metal, we could turn it in and we could roll an extra die. So that might be an interesting thing to do with our 1 metal. So why don't we do that? Let's turn in our 1 metal. And, or you know what, I'm going to put it on this card to indicate that that's where I'm using it this turn. And take an extra die and roll it. Okay. So, you know what, I've already got 1 over here. And it's a 5. Okay. So what can we do with this 5? Not much indeed. I mean, we could recursively just place this 5 in the mine and get another metal, but we can't use that card again. We could use the replicator. So I think right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the battery factory with 4 energy. I'll place these 4 energy on the battery factory to produce a good. Okay, we got that. And our replicator, if we turn in an energy, will become a copy of any card in the marketplace for this turn. Cannot copy a monument. So let's see what we could copy over here. We could copy another battery factory. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. So we've used the replicator to become a copy of this battery factory in the marketplace, which means we could take 4 more energy, like so, and we could earn another good. Cool. So now let's count how many goods we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We've got 12, which is, if I recall the rules, enough in terms of goods to be able to trigger the end of the game. And the way that the end of the game works, if we look here at the rules, as a player, you may trigger the end of the game as normal, 12 goods or 10 cards in your compound. So we've satisfied that requirement. However, the machine may only trigger the end of the game by manufacturing 12 or more goods, which it hasn't. Once the game end is triggered, one more round is played. Okay, so this was my turn, and I've triggered the end of the game. And so now the machine gets to go. And then I will play one more round, and then the machine will go one more time, and then we will count it all up. That's the end of the game. But let's take a look at my score right now. I have 12 goods, and then in terms of buildings built with prestige points, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. This robot doesn't score. So I've got a total score of 19 VPs, right? With my 12 goods plus the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scoring buildings I've managed to build. Cool. So that's where we are. And at the end of this turn, we're left with just the 1 energy. Oh, you know what? We do have, it's a little bit premature here. We do have the 2 dice that actually haven't been placed anywhere. So we could put this 2 over here, and that will earn us 2 energy. It's a basic action. And then we'll take this 5 and we'll place it over here in the mine to earn 1 more metal. Great. Now is the end of our turn. Now is the official end of our turn, and we end our turn with 3 energy and 1 metal, 1 card in hand. Everything else has been utilized or placed. And so now, so I don't confuse myself, I'll take the energy that I expended off the cards that I used them for. Okay, and the metal that I expended. Okay, now it's the machine's turn. So the machine's turn works like this. You roll 1 die of each color. And then you take a look at the green die, and that'll tell you, you compare the green die against a table in the rules to determine what the machine is going to do. So if the result of the green die is 1, 2, 3, or 4, you would take the corresponding blueprint and add it to their compound. So the machine rolled a 1. Therefore, we will take the blueprint in the number 1 spot, this battery factory, which kind of sucks for me because I was loving the use of the of that battery factory with my replicator. And let me replace that. And so now that's its compound. Now we take a look at the other dice and compare the results of the other dice to each one of these sets of cards. The blues, the purples, the yellows, and the reds. And if the die result is equal to that number, or equal to or greater or less than, right? For each die, if the value is equal to or lower than the number of cards, then the machine will successfully manufacture a good. So it's got 4 blue buildings, 3 purple buildings, 3 yellow buildings, and 1 red building. So you'll notice that the more cards the machine is able to acquire in each set, the greater its chances, it's increasing its chances of being able to produce a good. So now let's see if it produces a good. So first of all, let's take a look at its blue die result. It rolled a 5, and it's only got 4 blue buildings. So which means it does not produce a good with this result of 5. So that's good for us so far. Now its purple die result is a 4, which is greater than the number of purple buildings. So it also does not produce a good for the purple buildings. Now let's take a look at the yellow. We are very fortunate this turn because it has a result of 5 on the yellow die and only 3 buildings, yellow buildings, so therefore it doesn't produce a good there as well. And then, in terms of the red buildings, it rolled a 2. It only has a 1 red building. Therefore, this round, the machine was not able to produce any goods. So that was very good for us. And now, since I triggered the end of the game in the last turn, now we just have to play one more round. Let's take a look at the scores. The machine has been able to produce 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 goods. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So that is a total of 17 VPs for the machine. And I am at 12 goods, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So right now, the score is 19 to 17. So like I said, it's very tight. It's down to the wire. So I've got the one card, and it is now my market phase, and I have the option of gaining a blueprint or hiring a contractor by turning in a card with an icon that corresponds to one of these icons above the contractor cards. So I've got this foundry with this kind of gear icon here, which would allow me to take this specialist, and the specialist will allow me to gain an extra die of any value anytime during the next work phase, which is interesting. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to do that. So I'm actually going to turn in this foundry card, discard it, to be able to take this specialist contractor into my hand, and then I will replace that with another contractor card over here. Okay, so that's my action in the market phase. Now we move on to the work phase. So first things first, we'll take our 4 dice, we'll set aside this 1, and we will roll our 4 dice. Let's see what we got. All right, we've got a 5, a 5, a 6, and a 6. So this is actually really good for us. So these pairs are great because I can use them. There's a couple of places where I can use them. Here's one place, this aluminum factory. If I assign a pair of dice here, plus 5 energy, it'll get me 2 goods plus a metal. But I don't have 5 energy right now. I've got 1, 2, 3. But, I have 2 pairs. So I could take one of these pairs, and I could go to the harvester, and the harvester would allow me, one of the options is to be able to get 7 energy. So I think I'll do that. Based on the harvester, I'll buy 7 energy. I'll generate 7 energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Great. And then with this other pair of 6s here, I'll place them on the aluminum factory, give up 5 energy. Here's my 5 energy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In exchange for 2 goods and a metal. So I'll produce 2 goods and a metal. Very cool. So now I've got a total of 14 goods. I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 energy, and I've got 2 metal. So what can I do with my remaining energy? Well, I could give up 4 energy to be able to produce another good. So I think that's what I want to do right this second. Here's my 4 energy, and I'll put it on the battery factory to produce another good. So now I should have 15 goods if my math is right. And I've used my 4 dice. Now I still have the 1 contractor. Whoop, I dropped the card. I still have the 1 contractor, which would allow me to take an extra die of any value anytime during the next work phase. So what could we do? Well, look at this. Our biolab would allow us to take a result of 1 and give up 1 energy to produce yet another good. And because we still have the 1 energy over here, then that's what we'll do. We'll use our specialist to give us a die result of any value. And we'll turn that into a 1, which we'll place here. And we'll give up our energy to be able to generate another good right over here. And so how many goods is that now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 goods. In terms of goods, we've got 16. So we'll put 8 in each pile. And then in terms of buildings that we managed to build, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So we've got a total score of 23. 23 over here. And remember, the machine has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So right now, with the machine yet to take its final turn, our score is 23 to 17. So now let's let the machine take its final turn. And we are hoping for these die rolls to be high, because if they're all low rolls, he's going to build a lot of goods. So let's see what happens. All right, first things first, we'll take a look at the result of the green die and compare it against this table in the rules here. He rolled a 5 on the green die, which is reveal the top card of the blueprint deck and add it to the compound, and also discard all blueprints in the marketplace. So here's the top card of the blueprint deck. It turns out to be a blue card. Great. So now he has a very, very high probability of scoring on blue. And also, he will recycle all the cards in the blueprints in the marketplace. Well, that's fine. This is the last turn. So now let's take a look at, he rolled a 1 on his blue die, and that's less than the number of blue buildings he built. So he's going to earn a good for that. Now let's take a look at his purple die. He rolled a 3, which equals the number of purple buildings he's got. So that's another good that he produced. Let's look at his yellow die. Okay, we got a little lucky with his yellow die because he doesn't produce a good for yellow, because he's got a result that's greater than the number of buildings he managed to build in the yellow category. And he gets a 1 on red buildings, and because he's only got the 1 red building, he manages to build another good there. Cool. So now let's take a look at the final score for the machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in terms of goods. And then let's count his buildings. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. He's got 21 victory points. So I already know I won, but let's make it official. So each one of these piles is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 goods. Another pile of 8 goods. So that's 16 in terms of my goods. Now let's count the prestige points. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. So this is the first time I have been able to defeat the machine on normal difficulty, or in really any difficulty. I scored 23 victory points, and the machine scored 21 victory points, which means that is officially a win, a solo win, my very first one against the machine. So I am very happy indeed. And so that was kind of like the end, the last part of it's not a whole playthrough, but hopefully you guys get an idea of what it's like to play solo Fantastic Factories against the machine. Till next time, this has been Martin. Hey, thanks for watching.